Dr. Craig Malkin. I'm a clinical psychologist and lecturer for Harvard Medical School. I'm also the author of Rethinking Narcissism, devoted to helping you understand and cope with narcissism in all your relationships and with narcissism in all its forms. I am also the co-author of the New York Times bestseller, The Dangerous Case of Donald Trump. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I want to help you today with something that is such a common concern that comes up in comments, in messages to me, and that is when somebody has divorced an extremely narcissistic partner, especially somebody with narcissistic personality disorder, or actually with anybody who has an ex who has some kind of personality disorder. What often comes up is the concern about the impact it will have on our children. That is, most of us who love our children, if we have ended a relationship precisely because we don't like the impact that person has had on us, we're certainly concerned about the impact they have on our children. And specifically when it comes to narcissistic personality disorder, one of the most common questions I get is something along the lines of my wife or my husband had narcissistic personality disorder. They're still a part of my child's life. We still co-parent, share custody, whatever the arrangement is. How do I protect my child from narcissistic personality disorder, from developing pathological narcissism? And a related question is for anybody who has had an experience of abuse or neglect in their family, who struggles with blaming others, of needing to feel special, of feelings of grandiosity, how to protect themselves from developing pathological narcissism, or how to help move away from pathological narcissism. But I'd say really the key thing that comes up a lot is people are very concerned about this happening to their kids. And I have really great news when it comes to that. So let's just start by talking about your children. We know a lot about what causes pathological narcissism, what causes people to become extremely narcissistic. So what underlies any form of pathological narcissism, for that matter, all personality disorders, most troubles with disorders of some kind, what underlies them is something called attachment insecurity. Briefly, and I go into this in more detail in other YouTube videos that I've shared, but secure attachment is when we're sad, scared, lonely, blue, need comfort or care, when we can truly believe that we can turn to one special person or special persons, or even if it's a religious relationship, God, we can turn to someone with what we are feeling and feel understood and cared about, accepted. We can depend on them for comfort, care, and understanding, or what Dr. Sue Johnson refers to as the experience that this person or these people are responsible, accessible, and engaged. They are there for us. It even spells out R, A-R-E. That is attachment security. What we know from the research that is very clear is that when people have that attachment security, when they feel like they can depend on others for comfort, care, love, support, they will not turn to feeling special, which is how we want to think about narcissism, feeling exceptional, unique compared to others in some way, addictively seeking out that experience, even if it's private, like feeling like I'm the most misunderstood genius anybody's ever met, and people don't really know it, but I'm super smart. and it just has to come out one day. So there's a very secret, that's a more introverted form of narcissism. So one researcher named Phoebe Kramer was very interested in what kind of things predict pathological narcissism. So she did something really clever, which she came up with a measure for early precursors for narcissism, in particular the loud, outgoing, extroverted kind of narcissism. And what she determined is that children who tend to be melodramatic, who are always want to be the center of attention, who can be aggressive, maybe even bullying in preschool, those kids are the ones who are more likely to grow up to show signs of pathological or unhealthy narcissism. So she did a 20-year study just following kids who showed these early precursors. And this is where the good news comes in. What she found out is a kind of parenting called authoritative parenting that is a combination of warmth and structure. That is, the kids need limits or they need consequences for their behavior. These are parents who offer those. Curfews or natural consequences, say you don't get your homework done, that means you can't go on the computer. When parents combine that with a warm, nurturing, caring stance, and this is what's called authoritative parenting, even the children who showed those early signs, genetic predisposition is likely what's going on, difficult temperament, when they showed those early signs, even those kids did not show signs when they were in their early adulthood, in their 20s, of unhealthy pathological narcissism. And children who also experienced that authoritative parenting were more likely to feel good about themselves, to have slightly rose-colored glasses. Kramer used 3 different measures from a researcher named Wink, who looks at something he calls willful narcissism, vulnerable narcissism, and autonomous narcissism. My measure is called healthy narcissism. And he tracked that over time. Kids who had authoritative parenting more likely to have that healthy form, those rose-colored glasses for self and even other. Actually, if you look at the research, it turns out that feeling slightly special, not so much that it becomes pathological or distorts reality, but it's slightly rose-colored glasses, just enough to give us a sense of resilience and resources and persist in the face of failure. That's what healthy narcissism is. Kids who had the authoritative parenting were more likely to show that. And as I said, they were less likely to develop unhealthy narcissism. Whereas kids who were given a kind of parenting that either permissive, where there really wasn't a whole lot of attention, really it's neglect, or where there was a form of abusive parenting called authoritarian, where the rules are, where it's all about rules and restriction, the punishments can be quite severe. Those kids were more likely to go on to develop, to show signs of unhealthy narcissism when they were older. What does this tell us? What it tells us, in combination with other research, is that your ability to develop a secure attachment with your child, it doesn't matter what your partner is doing. What we've seen in the research is it only takes one parent being able to provide that attachment security. This is what I've seen as a therapist. But very often if somebody is able to call up the memory of somebody where they had that feeling that when push comes to shove, they could rely on them for care, understanding what they were feeling, and helping them with it, and supporting them, that attachment security. Even being able to call up just one person is helpful in coping, and it's helpful in maintaining health and even growing and changing. It's a big part of how I work with people in therapy. So attachment security if you are able to model sharing emotions, naming them, helping your child name them, being responsive to their feelings, helping them understand when they've crossed the line, but doing so in a warm way. Use your words, don't call people names, just say I'm angry, that sort of thing. That is what helps develop an attachment security. And it only takes one parent. That could be you. If you have divorced somebody who has a personality disorder and you're worried about your child, as long as they have that attachment security with you, that is the greatest protection you can offer them. I really want that to sink in. This is what we've seen in the research. That if they know, if your children know they can turn to you for that sense of secure love, for that sense of attachment security, that will help protect them not only from anything that they might struggle with in your partner or your ex or your ex-spouse, but in other problems in the world. In one study, they looked at college students. And if they had a secure attachment figure, just thinking about that, think about this, just thinking about that person gave them a boost of confidence and a burst of energy. And college students who reported feeling that attachment security were more likely to take risks and be adventurous, to do things like go bungee jumping or travel the world. I mean, this is the kind of thing that having attachment security can give us. So this is really, really good news. If you are concerned at all about the impact, negative events, loss, death, narcissistic ex-spouse is having on your child, focus on your relationship with your child. That is the most powerful protection you can give them. I tell people this all the time. If you are worried about yourself developing pathological narcissism, the same thing goes. It is impossible to be securely attached and extremely narcissistic. Why? Because when we are able to depend on others, when we're sad, scared, lonely, turn to them for comfort, care, and understanding, that is what helps us maintain a sense of confidence, self-esteem, and safety. We don't need to soothe ourselves addictively with feeling like we're exceptional or unique. Even though that's a part of human experience, feeling that a little bit, we won't need to addictively rely on that. The way I often say it is, to the extent you can rely on people, you will not rely on or become addicted to feeling special. So your ability to open up in that way, your ability to help your kids open up in that way, and you open up to them, greatest protection you have. There's direct evidence that narcissists are not securely attached, particularly the grandiose or what I call extroverted kinds of narcissists with narcissistic personality disorder. They devalue love and relationships. This is why we know you can't be securely attached and extremely narcissistic. Securely attached people don't devalue love and relationships. So, your take home, really let yourself take the truth of this in. Greatest protection you can offer is to focus on your relationship with your child. That is, if they're upset about something that's going on, whether it's your spouse or anything else, your ability to be available to them and responsive and emotionally engaged to provide them that authoritative parenting, which is directly correlated with attachment security also, I forgot to mention. Greatest protection you can offer. So I hope that helps. I hope that helps put you at ease. I really want you to be able to hold on to that because it is so important and it is so true. And if you found this video helpful, please subscribe. I often forget to say that. So if you enjoyed it and found it helpful, please subscribe. Give it thumbs up, share it. Please leave your questions and comments, even though I'm a full-time practitioner and teach, and I still write. So it's hard for me to keep up with everything. I do often review all of my comments and messages eventually, so you will see your answers just like this. And in this video, I am answering questions. And so once again, thank you for all of that feedback and all of your thoughts and all of your support of each other. I'm really struck by the support that I see in the comment sections. So I hope you'll join me for the next video. I look forward to sharing you with again. Take care.